Welcome to a Basics of Python video series by Urdu IT Academy. So today we are going to create some games using the turtle graphics. Before that, let's see last class assignment question. So in the last class, we learned how we can create a simple shapes using the turtle, right? So the first question is to create a program to create a triangle pattern. So here you can see I'm importing the turtle. So, I'm creating a screen. Screen is equal to turtle.screen. After that, I'm creating a turtle object. Then a red color, setting a red color and using a for loop. For C in range, 40 times it is executing, which means I'm going to draw total 40 triangles. Okay, now inside that for I in range 3, we need 3 because, in for a triangle, we have 3 sides, right? So T dot forward 100. 100 is the length of the triangle, 100 units. You can set any number. Okay. Now T dot right 120. 120 is the angle. It should be 120 for a triangle because we are getting 120 by like we are dividing 360 by 3. 3 is the side. So 360 by 3 we'll get 120. That should be the angle. Okay. Now after drawing one triangle, we are making it turn 10 degree just to create as a pattern. Okay, so this will execute 40 times. You can see the pattern first, it's drawing threes. It will be continuously drawing triangles and ultimately it will make a pattern. Okay, even though it's a triangle pattern, it look like the final shape is looking like a, circle pattern, right? Okay, now the second question is to draw a house. Okay, now here, actually it's very simple here. What I have done is that first, I'm importing Tkinter, creating an object turtle, creating a screen. Now, I'm setting a fill color brown first. Fill color means the color which we can fill, as the name suggests, right? Now, after that, I'm adding the turtle.begin fill. Begin fill means, I'm just starting to fill, okay? So, whenever you are drawing a closed shape, remember it should be a closed shape. If you want to fill any color, before drawing that, you need to open the begin fill. And at the end, you need to close the you need to add turtle.end fill also. Okay, in between you can draw. Now here the color is brown. Now this one will create a triangle. For I in range 3, turtle.forward 90. 90 is the length, which means this triangle side length. Okay. Now after that 120 it's turning because it's a triangle. After drawing the this triangle, which means 3 times when this triangle these sides are drawn, which means after drawing a triangle, I'm adding the turtle.end fill. As I told you, so in between this begin fill and end fill, the computer will fill the brown color. That's why the triangle is brown. Okay. Now after that, I'm making my turtle turn right. Right side 90 degree because next thing, I want to draw a square. Okay. Now the next one is a function definition. It's a function definition because in this picture, you can do it without the function also, but the code will be very lengthy. But in this picture, we need to draw 4 square, right? Because this is the first square. This is a second one, third one, and this is a fourth one. So total 4 square we need to draw. And all the codes are same to draw a square. So I'm making it as a function. So inside the function, you can see I'm adding the begin fill and I'm drawing a square. Okay. Now, whenever you're calling the function, I am passing a parameter size because you can see all the 4 square, the sizes are different. Okay. So I'm passing size as a parameter. Yeah. So at the end, we are adding end fill also after drawing a square. All right. Now, below the function, we are continuing with the normal code. I'm setting the fill color as pink. Okay. Now I'm calling the function sq and I'm passing the size 90. Okay. Remember this 90 is a size of this side. Okay. This is same as the size of the triangle, which means this side, these 3 sides are same, right? I have given the same size for the, the first square side also because these two should be same. Okay. 90. Now, after that, I'm calling the functions and inside the function, it's starting the begin fill. It will draw the square end fill, which means a pink color. It will be pink color. After that, I'm putting the pen up. Pen up means because I want to make it go here. Right? So whenever it is going there, I don't want to draw a line like this. To avoid that, I'm putting the pen up just to lift the pen up to avoid the drawing whenever it's moving. Then I'm making it go to this position. Most probably it will be here. Okay, after that I'm putting the pen down. Now changing the fill color and calling the function again. So it will make this square. Again the same thing, pen up, making it move on to the next position and putting the pen down. Then calling the function to draw the second square. Same thing for the third one. I hope it's clear. So all the codes I have shown you here, you can access it from our Urdu IT Academy GitHub page. Clear? Now let's start how we can create a simple game using turtle graphics. So I'm going to show you how we can create 3 games. All right? Yeah, you can see the output, right? There is a turtle screen and a turtle image moving. We have to click on the image. It's a very simple one. So whenever I'm clicking the turtle image, you can see there is a label appearing score 1. Initially it was hiding, and whenever I'm clicking only, it is showing. Oh my God, it's so hard to click that. Uh, uh, um, okay, I think it's clear, right? Yeah, score is 2. Okay, so that's it. And this game will end. How will this game will end? Suppose whenever you're starting the game, if you are not able to click, I mean, first time, if you're not able to click the turtle within 30 seconds, then you will lose the game. Okay, so that's a very simple way, a clicking game. So to create this game, you can see here, I'm importing the turtle because we need to import the turtle. We are like all the graphical stuffs are inside the turtle. So we are importing the turtle. Now the next step, I'm importing random because I want my turtle to move on to different random position at every 1 second. So we need the random there. Now importing time because at every 1 second I need to make it move, right? So I need to import the time also. Now next one, I'm setting up the screen. So I'm creating a screen. Screen is equal to turtle.screen function. And I'm giving a title also, catch the turtle game. So you can see the title here on the top, catch the turtle game. Okay, all right. Yeah, now the BG color is light blue. You can give any color, screen or BG color. And I'm setting up the height and width for the screen as 600, 600. You can set any number, okay? To the next part, we need a turtle. Turtle is a player, right? So for that, I'm giving a name, object name, player turtle. You can give any name, okay? So player turtle equal to turtle.turtle function. To create an object, I'm creating an object. Now, the name of the object is player turtle. So first thing, I'm setting a shape. Player turtle dot shape. You can give like a turtle shape. You can give it a circle, a disc. I think a square is also possible. Okay. Now, the next line, I'm giving a turtle, my turtle color green. Now I'm adding player turtle dot pen up. Here pen up is mandatory because otherwise whenever you're moving whenever the turtle is moving, a line will be forming. We don't want to make that line. So for that purpose, we just want to lift the turtle up. So that's why we are adding player turtle dot pen up. Okay. Now the next thing I need a score label. We need to show the score, right? So score also I'm creating it as a turtle object. Same thing, score display equals score display is the name. You can give it any name. It's just an instance name, object name. So after that, yeah, you can see score display dot hide turtle because initially I want to hide it. Only when I'm clicking the turtle for the first time, it should show as score 1. So initially I'm making it hide. After that again pen up because otherwise whenever it's moving, it will make a line. So even though it's not moving in the screen, I mean during the game, whenever it's appearing, there is a chance that a small line will be appearing from the edge to the place where it is shown. Okay, to avoid that, I'm putting the pen up. Now, score.display go to where do you want to place that score label? Okay, so this is the X and Y value coordinates. So you can just change it any number. So on that particular position, it will appear. I mean the score label. Okay, now I'm initializing a score, a variable because I want to show the score. This is a label. Okay, the first one is a label. Now this is just a variable to keep track of the score value. Now this one, start time equal to time dot time. So this time dot time function will give you the in seconds. Okay, I need this one because I need to move it every 1 second, and I need to keep track of the timer because if the user fail to click the turtle within 30 seconds, okay, so we'll declare it as like just like he's losing the game, he lost the game. Okay, yeah, next one, this one is a function. So yeah, to update the score display. Okay, so every time whenever you're clicking the turtle, I will be calling this function update score. So inside this function, first thing I'm erasing whatever previous value, whatever previous text is written on the score display. Score display is this turtle image, I mean turtle object to display the score, just like a score label. After that, on the score display label, I'm writing score colon inside the curly bracket. Score inside the curly bracket. Whenever you are adding score, this score is a variable score. Okay. Now this score is just a text. I mean a string. Whatever we are writing inside the quotes, right? Now don't get confused. This is a variable score. So if my score is 5, it will show score colon 5. If it is 0, it will show score. No, 0 will not be showing obviously. So starting from 1 only, it will show. So score colon. Okay. Now align center. I'm just placing it on the center. And the font is Arial, size is 24, normal. You can change it just like you want. Okay. Now to make the turtle move, I'm using the move function. So to make it move to random like this, for this purpose, we have imported this random. Because we want to make our turtle move to different random position, right? So for that, I have created two variables, x and y, random.randin minus 250, comma, 250. Okay. So here, why do we need this one? Because 250, 250 minus 250, 250 will let the computer select a random number between this range, keeping in mind that our screen size is 600, 600. Okay. Same for the height also. Y represents the height. So after that, I'm making my turtle go to that XY coordinate. Okay, particular number. So it will be a different number every single time because we are using the random.random function. Okay. After that, I'm calling a function screen dot on timer move turtle 1000. Okay. So this function, this one will move the turtle every 1 second. 1 second means this 1000 is a millisecond. Okay, here. So 1000 millisecond means 1 second. So at every 1 second, it will call the move turtle function. Okay. Screen dot on timer function will execute at every 1 second because here it is 1000. Okay. And it will call the move turtle function. Move turtle function is to move the turtle. Yeah. Actually, this function itself. Okay. So here you can see inside the same function definition, move turtle function definition, I am calling the same function move turtle. So such functions we call it as recursive function. Okay, which means when we are calling the same function inside the function body, we call it as recursive function. It will happen continuously without stopping, just like an infinity function call. Okay. All right. Now the next one, here, another function to handle the turtle click event. Whenever I'm clicking the event, I want to do something, right? So that I have written in this function turtle code. Okay, so here I have a variable global score. So this global score declares score as a global variable. Okay, to allowing modification within this function. Now the second one is if time.time function minus start time less than 30. So it is checking if the game duration, like time since the start time, is less than 30 seconds. If it is true, the game continues. Otherwise, the game will end. Okay. All right. Which means if the user fails to click the turtle within the first 30 seconds, the game will over. Okay. So if it is true, it will increase the score by 1. It will call the update score function. I mean, this function to display the new value of the score. Now it will call the move turtle function to move our turtle to a different position. Otherwise, if you are failing to click the turtle within 30 seconds, score.display go to 0, 0, which means the score.display, it will go to the center. After that, on the display, you are writing game over. Then you're making the play turtle. I mean, the turtle, you're making it hide. Okay. I hope it's clear. Now the next one, play turtle on click turtle code. So this will bind the click event to the turtle. Okay. Which means it will set up an event listener. so that when the player clicks the turtle, this turtle code function is triggered. Okay, so which will, increment the score. Okay, now the next one is move turtle. Here, this is initiating the first call to the move turtle function. Okay, which will then keep calling itself every 1 second due to the screen dot on timer. Okay, so first time we are starting it by calling it from here. Now after that, it will automatically call from inside because of the on timer. It will be calling from inside. So, okay, I hope this one clear. This is a game. Oh my God, yeah, score 1, score 2, like that we can play. Okay, I hope this one is clear. So this game code you can access from our Urdu IT Academy GitHub page. Clear? Now the next game I'm going to introduce you. I will show you how it is working first. Yeah. Oh my God. So here this is a this is a two-player game. Actually, two-player means you are going to play with the computer. Okay. So there are two turtle, blue and red. Okay, blue is a player, red is a computer. So it's a racing game. So whenever it is starting, you need to click on the space key to make your blue one move. Computer is always faster, right? Computer is winning. Okay, so whoever is touching the finishing line first, they will win. So here the computer has, won the game. That's why here it is saying game over, the opponent won. Clear? Yeah, so to do this game also, here you can see, I'm importing the turtle, importing the random because I want to I want to select a random number for the computer turtle to move. I'm creating the screen. The screen title is Turtle Race. Setting up the height and width as 600 and 400 screen size. Now, first I'm creating the player turtle. Player equal to turtle or turtle. Color shape is turtle. Color is blue. I'm putting the pen up because otherwise whenever it's moving, it will make a line. Okay. And I make it go to the starting motion. Same with the computer, which is the opponent. The color is red. Putting the pen up and I'm making it go to the starting motion. Okay. Now we need to draw the finishing line. Finishing line is also an object. Initially, I'm making it height. After that, I'm putting the pen up. I'm making it go to the starting motion. After that, I'm drawing a line. You can see finish line dot right. Dot right will turn it to right side. After that, I'm putting the pen down because I want to draw a line with size 200. Okay. Now, below that, you can see I'm calling a function move player. So this move player function will make the player move forward by 20 units, 20 steps. Okay, so whenever I'm clicking the space key, I'm going to call this move player function, which will make my player move forward 20 steps. Okay, now below that, I have a function move opponent. So here I want the computer to move automatically in different speed. So here you can see every single time the opponent will move. Opponent dot forward means it is moving and the number. Here for the player I have directly given 20. For the computer I am adding random dot random 1, 10, which means the computer will choose any number between 1 and 10. That will be the speed. Okay. Now below that we have to check if any turtle has reached the finishing line. Okay, so the check winner function defines a function that checks if either turtle has reached or crossed the finishing line at x coordinate 200. Here I have set the x coordinate as 200. Okay, so player dot XOR greater than 200. Okay, that's the first if condition. It will check if the player turtle has crossed the finishing line. So if it is true, it will display a message saying you won using a pop-up dialog, screen dot text input, and then closes the game window with screen dot by. All right. Otherwise, if the opponent x coordinate is greater than 200, then what happens is that here we are checking if the opponent turtle has crossed the finishing line. If it is true, it displays a message saying opponent won and close the game window using the screen dot by function. Okay. Clear? Now you can see screen dot. Now this is a main loop, main gaming loop. Now screen dot listen. The screen dot listen function puts the program in listening mode to detect keyboard input. If any key has pressed, it will detect. Okay. Now screen dot on key function, it binds the move player. Move player is a function to move the player, right? Whenever you're, it will call the move player function whenever you're clicking the space key. Okay, you can use the space key, up arrow, left arrow, anything left like that. Now, while true, it will create an infinite loop that will keep running until the game works. Sorry, game ends. Now, the move opponent function moves the opponent turtle a random distance in each iteration and check winner. After each move of the opponent turtle, it will check if either the turtle has reached the finishing point, which means it will call this function at after every movement. Okay. So after every movement in the while loop forever, it is making the computer move automatically and it is checking the winner automatically. But remember, your player will only move whenever you are clicking the space key. That's why there is a high chance that the player computer is going to win. Okay, I'll show you the game one more time. Yeah, blue is a player. Oh my god, player is automatically moving and I'm losing. Maybe I'm going to change the speed of the computer. Let's make it a little slower. Let's see this time whether I can make. Oh my god, it's hard. Maybe I'm going to increase the speed of the player. The player is now moving forward 20 steps, right? I am making it 60 steps. Let's see. Yeah, this time you won. Okay. All right. Now let's create one last project. This is going to be a ping pong game. I'll show you the project first. I mean the output, the game. So here you can see I have a ball and a paddle. So the ball is continuously moving, and whenever it is coming down, if the ball is touching the paddle, it will bounce back and go, it will move again, go back. And whenever it fails to touch the paddle, whenever the paddle is fails to touch the ball, the game will over. All right. So here you can see we are creating a screen with size 600, 400, color is black, title is turtle pong. Now we are creating a paddle, shape is square, color is white, and you can see this is a new one here, right? Shape size. So shape size, it stretches the shape. I mean, by default, it's a square, right? But we don't want a square, we need a rectangle. So using the shape size, it will stretches the shape, making the paddle 5 times longer horizontally and 1 unit in height, giving it a rectangle shape. Right? After putting the pen up, I'm making it go to the starting position. All right. Now pen up lifts the pen to avoid drawing line when the paddle moves. All right. Using the go to function, we can place the paddle near the bottom of the screen coordinate at coordinates like 0, 170, minus 170. All right. After that, I'm creating the bowl. It's like the same. Here you can see, I have 3 new codes. Bowl dot speed 40. It sets up a bowl speed for smoother movement. You can set any number, okay? Now bowl dot dx2 and bowl dot dy minus 2. So it creates 2 custom attribute dx and dy. It represents the bowl's movement, speed, and direction. Okay. So dx moves the ball horizontally by 2 pixels and dy moves it vertically by minus 2 pixels. Okay. Now next thing, we have the move right function. Sorry, paddle right function. It will move the paddle. Okay. So this function moves the paddle 20 pixels to the right. Okay. So the paddle dot xco function gets the current x coordinate of the paddle. And here we are changing the increase in the x value by 20. And paddle dot set x updates the paddle x coordinate, moving it to the new position. Okay. Same with the paddle dot left. Here we are decreasing the x value, which means it will be moving towards left side. Okay. Now the next one. Okay. Yeah. Next one is the keyboard bindings. Keyboard bindings means okay. So here we can see first one is a win dot listen, right? So it will put the screen in listening mode to detect any keyboard inputs, whether it will check if we are clicking any keyboard. And the next one is a on key press, paddle right, paddle right. So this one will detect whenever we are clicking the right key button, it will call the paddle right function, which will make the paddle go to the right side. This one, it will call this function, okay? And whenever we are clicking the left button, left arrow button, it will call the paddle left function, which will make a paddle go move towards the left side, okay? Yeah. Now the next one is a gaming loop while true. So it will begin an infinite loop that keeps running until the game ends, and the window update refreshes the screen with each iteration, making the animation movement smoother. Okay. Now, yeah. So now comes the ball movement and the collision handling codes. Okay. So to make the ball move, you can see the ball's x and y coordinates are updated by adding ball.dx and ball.dy respectively. Okay, which makes the ball move diagonally. Okay, now we need to check for any collisions, right? So the first one, if ball.x score greater than 290 or ball.x score less than minus 290. So here we are checking if the ball has the left or right border. So if it is true, which means if it has hit the border, left or right border, it reverses the horizontal direction by multiplying ball dot dx by -1. Okay. Now in the second if condition, we are checking if the ball has hit the top border. Okay. If so, it will reverse the vertical direction by multiplying ball dot dy by -1. All right. Now the paddle collision here. Ball dot y core greater than -160 and ball dot y core less than -50. So this entire code, okay. So here we are checking if the ball's y coordinate is within the paddle's range. We are checking if the ball is colliding with the paddle. The ball is touching the paddle. Okay, which means we are checking if the ball's y coordinates is within the paddle's range. Okay, and here the ball dot x core. Here we are checking if the ball's x coordinates are within the paddle's uh, range. Okay. So if both the conditions are met, which means the x and y both are true, then what we are doing? We are, if both conditions are met, the ball, which means the ball is hitting the paddle, right? So ball dot dy, we are multiplying it by -1. It reverses the vertical direction, making the ball bounce upward. All right. Now, finally, we are checking the bottom border collision. So here, if this one is bold, if this condition is true, meaning it has missed the paddle and has passed the bottom border. In that case, if the ball has reached the bottom point, the win.by function closes the game immediately and it is printing a game over message. All right, we can see it here. Whenever the ball is touching the paddle, you can see it's bounced back. Right? Whenever it is touching the air, it is just coming back. And what happens whenever it is touching the border? It's immediately stop executing. Clear? I hope it's clear. You can practice. So all the codes I have shown here, you can access it from our Urdu IT Academy GitHub page. All right. So happy learning. See you in another video. Bye.